Hello everyone. It's Stray Faye, here with another episode of Cafe Enchante. In the last episode, we had a chapter where we finally went out with ill. We had a lot of dates with the boys, although yeah, they only really showed two. We went on one with Canis because it let us choose like one of the boys, and then we went on one with ill. We got to know a little bit more about Ill and his emotional ranges. And now we're in main chapter 8, which is, I'm guessing, focusing on Misyr, because we seem to have a chapter revolving around each boy, and I think like after this, according to the guide, after this chapter, it branches off depending on what choices you made in these 8 chapters. Alright, so now we're starting off a little bit strong here. Got a little drama here. He runs. Rindo? What? Ignoring how out of breath he is. Branches cut him, but it didn't matter. Running through the grove, Kaoru Rindo dashes through the forest in the night. Haha, and here I thought I had planned for the worst scenario possible. I might be screwed considering this is even worse. With a grunt, he turns off his light, jumping into the brush to hide himself. He holds his breath for 5-10 seconds. Glaring at the dangerous darkness in front of him, Rindo finally breathes again. Whew. Who's this? Rindo, is there someone chasing us? We lost them, I hope. I think we can relax now. My sincere apologies for this. To do this for us, Kuri. Kuri? Okay, I'm guessing this is someone completely new. What is that? Alright. It's a clay statue. I've seen some of these in my light novels. Crawling out of Rindo's chest pocket was a non-human, some 15 centimeters tall. I'm guessing this is a character. By human standards, its face was deformed with rough skin that looked like earthenware. Rindo gives a nervous smile to the being that, just like an old Haniwa statue. You don't have to worry, this is part of my job, so... Wait, it's here! Oh. We're getting chased again? Uh-huh. I'm gonna give it a Mickey Mouse voice. I don't know what voice to give this thing. Unfortunately, yeah. Ugh, they sure don't give up. Changing out of the magazine, Rindo lets loose of parabellum rounds and glares at the sky through the trees. Parabellum bullet. Handgun ammunition developed in Germany. 9mm parabellum bullets, in particular, see major use around the world. Oh man, getting back to drink Kotone's coffee before the day is over will be a stretch. In the dark of the night, an unmistakable eeriness fills the obscured red sky. The sky, unlike anything seen in the human world, weighed heavily on him. Where is he? Did he go to like another world where these clay people live? Alright, well, it's back to Kotone's perspective. This evening sky slowly expanding above his head as if demanding that he leave. It was dusk on a particular day. I, Kotone Owake, was out shopping in the shopping district with 2 men holding our goods. Tissues, soap, and 2 sponges. Alright, that's all of the cleaning supplies. Now the decorations for the shop. I want to try to keep everything we buy to 100 yen shops. Hey. Oh, I want to pick up some beans too. It'll cost more if we have it delivered. Hey, Miss Idiot Owner standing over there, with every intention to keep shopping. Huh? What's up, Ignis? Don't what's up me, take a look at us. Don't you have anything to say? I look back at the people accompanying me. I got the Got two strong men carrying your bags. Couldn't let Misyr and Il do it. They look like mages. Come on. Canis had 2 bags in each of his hands, with a total of 4 bags. Ignis holds the same amount, with another 2 bags hanging around his neck. Oh, too bad, Ignis. You have a neck. Unfortunately, you can't hang it around Canis' neck. You look like a dog with a collar on. It's kind of cute. I'm not a dog. I don't even want these around my neck. We clearly can't hold any more.
I see. It was too heavy for you, Ignis. Allow me to hang those around my neck.
It's not about the weight. And do you even have a neck to hang stuff from? Sorry. I bought a bit too much. Let's just head back to Enchante for today. I turned towards the road leading back home with the Headless Knight and the Firewolf. I'm used to the shopping district now, and it's rare to find shops I don't know about. I feel like I've walked to the town so much by now that I'm a pretty familiar face. Neighborhood lady. Ah, it's Showen's granddaughter out shopping today. Yep, we went to quite a few shops and maybe bought a bit too much. Hey, it's Helmet Tan and the lady. Are they out on a date? I'll be. Hey, hold up, brats. Don't pretend like I'm not here. All 3 of them are on a date. Oh, we gotta harem. Well, that isn't really the case. You can't call it a date if there's 3 of us anyway, right?
Indeed, she is correct, young ones. We are just her baggage carriers.
Is this polyamory? What? Where the hell did you learn that word, you little weirdo? Watching the 2 of them talk with these children, a smile broadens across my face. When I first started out at Enchante, I've never even imagined that I'd be walking around town like it was nothing like this. Oh, right. It's only been a few months since I've taken over the cafe as the owner. And within that short amount of time, my life had changed completely compared to what it was before. I'd stepped into a new world. Misyr, Canis, Il, and Ignis. I met these people that weren't quite normal. I mean, they were non-human. And after a chance encounter with Mr. Rindo, the government's GPM agent, I decided to keep running this place I felt at home in, Cafe Enchante. I'd even visited other worlds, and I met Karya and Koro who had come to live at the cafe. Thinking back to it all, I couldn't help but feel like so much had happened. I still feel like this could all still be some kind of dream. As I said this to myself, I noticed 2 men walking in front of me. News anchor. And on to our next story. The sound of a voice coming from a TV in the electronics store reached my ear. Along the shore, a localized abnormal weather pattern has emerged. The local meteorological observation has issued a warning to the local residents. Huh? The hell? What are you stopping for? Well, that's news on the TV. That's close to where my family lives.
Your family? I recall you saying that it was quite far.
Right. It's a town close to the beach up in the northeast. Oh wait, they're showing something. What the reporter on the screen pointed to was a small island off the coast. It did feel familiar. It was an uninhabited island off the coast near the town where my parents lived. An eerie mist lulled above the island, and it looks like it would crush the island itself.
That sky is a very odd color. An abnormal weather pattern indeed.
This world has 4 seasons. It's always been pretty abnormal to me.
Haha, of course. Someone from Vestia, land of eternal winter, would think that.
Furrowing my brow at the images on screen, I began walking as the news moved on to the next story. I'm a bit worried. I should call home. As I was thinking... There, tucked into the streets near the station, stood Cafe Enchante. Of this shape I've come to get used to, seeing all the time came. Just one look! Please, just the tiniest peek! Let me see the gate! I can only guess who this could be. It's probably not one of the non-humans, because, I mean, of course they'd be able to see the gate. Okay. Yes, for the bright, dazzling future of science! And, I guess for me and Ku, too. Today there was an unfamiliar voice coming from out in front of it.
If my memory serves me correctly, I believe I recognize that voice.
Yep. You can't help but remember that voice, even if you really don't want to. Yeah. I sort of remember it, yet I don't really. In fact, I wish I didn't remember it at all. I'm back. I quietly opened the door, and beyond it was the scene I imagined in my head. In other words... Oh. Of course not. I'm supposed to be guarding the place. Get like two kids. Although I think the scientist man is not a kid, right? He's like Mr. Rindo's friend. No way in hell I'll let a weirdo like you touch the gate, run electricity through it, and rub your face all over it. You dare interrupt the progress of science? There stood an excitable Mr. Mikado, and Karya, desperately trying to stop him. Oh, welcome back, you three. Would any of you like a cup of coffee to go with the view of a mildly cranky Karya? Oh, please don't move. Kororo, you are the perfect cushion for playing games on. Cute. And also, Misyr looks on at the scene while Il plays the game with Kororo as a table. It's like a squishy pillow as he's resting his wrist on there. Why is that GPM freak here? I'm glad you asked, Ignis, my boy. The reason is, of course, to investigate the gate here. While that whiny Rindo is away on business, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for me. Now that he isn't here to stop me, I can research all I want and... What? Weren't you just talking earlier about doing Karya's regular checkup or something? He certainly was. He said he came to get Karya, who hasn't come for his checkup. Ah, blast, that's right! That was my story! Ugh, how could I have revealed myself?
Quite the foolish confession.
Wait, Karya? You haven't been going in for your checkups? I mean, if that's the doctor, I understand why. Zig. Karya looks away from me with guilt. Karya's fairy ancestry and the ancestral relapse had weakened his body a lot. He was told that he needed to visit Medio regularly and that he was also to have physical checkups at the GPM. No, well, I've been feeling loads better since I've been coming to the shop, but this weirdo from the GPM is a freak. I still don't really trust anyone there other than Mr. Rindo. I know what you mean, but this isn't right. You have to get your checkups. Hey, Ku! Didn't it sound like this kid just said something horrible about me? If you're really worried, I'll go with you. Huh? You don't have to do that. I'm not a kid. I don't need a babysitter. Everyone continued to watch over us with kind eyes as Karya shook his head as I was questioning him. It's like a sister and her little brother. You know, we're all older than her. Must feel nice for her to have someone younger than her hanging around. After pushing the point that he needed his checkups, I turned to face Mikado. Oh, that's right, Mr. Mikado? What is it? Perhaps you'll allow me to rub my tender cheeks all over your gate? Which cheeks? I wonder. No, you said Mr. Rindo is out on business, yes? He hasn't been to the cafe recently. Where is he right now? Come to think of it, he hasn't been here for 4 days now, right? Huh? Knowing Rindo, I would have assumed he told all of you. Well, whatever. Rindo's out conducting research on an uninhabited island by orders of the higher-ups. But I guess he's been attacked. Like right now, present tense. I think he put out an emergency extraction request. What? Attacked? What's happening? Who's attacking him? I mean, he is okay. Well, I'm not sure about the details, but it's Rindo. He's alive, probably. Oh, but more importantly, you there, Headless Knight, please let me examine your body too. But more importantly, Mr. Mikado, please tell me more about... Oh, and you, the fallen angel, you're very interesting too. I'm so very curious about the procedure behind becoming fallen. Mr. Mikado? And also, last but not least, the Demon Lord. Enchante's so wonderful. With this full course of rare non-humans, I can't help but be drawn in by it all. In a firm grip, I grabbed his head, which was a bit lower than me. Yug, what are you doing? I have no interest in humans. Oh god, he's like, get away from me, you normie freak. Oh, I twist his neck with a K, hard enough to start making some crunching sounds. I guess we learned something from Ignis. And after forcing him to face my direction, I smile at him gently. You stop! Listen to me closely. What happened to Mr. Rindo? Okay, I'll be glad to tell you. Amasaki Island. Alright, what's this? An uninhabited island near the heroine's hometown off the coast of Tohoku region. Get some water. An uninhabited island that's not too far off the coast in the northeast. The GPM started researching the island about a month ago. There have been whispers among the locals about strange things for ages now. Apparently in the past, a Type 1 species of non-humans, the Kuri, had inhabited Amasaki Island. Are those intelligent but friendly? I forgot. And then I think Type 2 was like, they're friendly but can't talk. And then Type 3 are violent, can't communicate with. Recently, another species of non-humans showed up and now dominated the island. Although they knew of the Kuri, GPM HQ had yet confirmed this new species, and so they sent out a team to investigate. However, the Spartoi, the name given to it, to this new species, didn't seem capable of speech, and those around them ended up being attacked by them. As a result, the local branch determined that the Spartoi, designated a Type 3 species, could not be dealt with. They made contact with Shinjuku HQ, sent in a seasoned team as reinforcements, but...
Rindo is part of the reinforcements. Furthermore, he is currently under attack by the Spartoi and cannot be reached.
Some time passed after Mr. Mikado gave his explanation of the situation, and he left. A short silence fell inside the cafe, which was covered in shadows from the setting sun. I tried making a call to his phone, but there's no answer. Hey, doesn't that mean Mr. Rindo's in trouble? Yeah, I think so. So, we need to go help him, right? Huh? We don't need to worry about him. He's not gonna die that easily. He's gonna show up here out of the blue, laugh it off, saying how he almost died, and end it with that. Well, I guess that's possible. What's wrong? Worried about Rindo? Of course I am. There's something else I'm worried about. Mr. Mikado mentioned Amasaki Island, and I think it's near where my family lives.
Your family? You mean it's the same island that was on the TV in the shopping district?
Yeah, it's an island all the locals know about. It's close enough that you can see it through the window on a sunny day. They were, in a sense, a hop and a skip away. In other words, in a place very close to my family, where they could be easily reached. Was there these dangerous Spartoi, a non-human species dangerous to humankind, resided? A chill runs down my spine as I imagine what terrible things could happen. I think option 1, I want to go see what's happening. I'm guessing option 2 is like if you're going for Mr. Rindo. Nope. I haven't said anything yet. You're worried about your family and Rindo and want to see what's happening, right? It's dangerous, so no. I mean, I know it might be silly to say since we've taken you to alternate worlds ourselves, but we can't function in the human world the same way we could out there. If something were to happen while you were in trouble. Well, I guess, but I just wanted to see what the situation was and if everything was alright. The one who had my back was... Well, how about something like this? Although I'm against taking you, what if Phil and I checked it out for you? Really? Well, I'm not really worried about what's up with Rindo, but if it does concern you, then I guess we can go. I'll accompany you as well. In terms of our fighting capability, you alone would be enough, Misyr. I want you to help me in the search, but if we happen to be told to blow up the island with Rindo still on it, of course that would not be okay. Fortunately, I am still waiting for a new game to come out, so I am not opposed to it. Really? If he had that game, he'd be like, nope, not now. Rindo could wait. You mean you wouldn't go if it was a day later? Huh. Jackass.
If this is the plan, then Ignis and I will remain here. If only I could fly.
Which seems kind of weird, because Canis is a fairy. We'll work hard enough for the both of you. I'd rather not have to go and save the GPM princess, but oh well. Misyr put his hand on my shoulder, reassuring me that it'd be okay. Feeling the gentle warmth from his hand, I sigh in relief. Oh, if your family's close by, Kotone, should we drop in and say hi to them? We can let them know how well their daughter takes care of us. Maybe we should pick up a gift near the Tokyo station. Forget the gift and the greeting, just go keep Mr. Rindo your top priority, okay? It's the whims. His own whims. Ugh. I really wanted my plan to work out so I could get a closer look at the gate. Their defense is pretty solid. That's too bad for us, huh, Ku? After returning from Enchante, mumbling to himself while petting his doll, Mikado glances in front of him. Mikado's assistant, this guy. I don't know what voice to give him. Is he gonna say something? I'm guessing it's some sort of like divinator. They said yeah, right? That's how you say it. What stood there was a single man wearing a hood, his presence obscured otherwise. He softly raises his hand at Mikado. Oh my, if it isn't my little assistant! You don't take such a long vacation. Did you make good use of your time off? Affirmative. I'm just gonna cover my mouth. Like, I don't know. Yes, he has like a freaking paper on his face. I see. Good then. But why are you here? I didn't ask you to come pick me up today. Again with the silence, huh? I can't figure out what you're thinking. Well, considering who you are, it's gotta do with him, right? I wonder why you're so interested in him, Can't you just tell me your relationship with him already? Silence. Alright, I'm guessing he's important, because they actually gave him a portrait, so... Denied. You pay me for the work I do for you. Further requests for information or efforts to force such information from me. Okay, I get it. You don't have to be so spooky. It'd be trouble for me if you quit. I don't intend to pry too deep about it. The man kept his hood unfastened after that. As he follows Mikado, who shrugged at him. In the darkness of that hood were eyes filled with cold fire, gazing towards Enchante. Okay. The plot thickens. Who is this man? Or woman? I don't know. Alright, back to Kotone perspective. Right. Okay. You be careful too, Mom. It's dangerous out there. Don't go out to the beach to take pictures or anything, okay? Okay, I'll call you again soon. Whew. It was 6 o'clock in the evening. I'd closed the cafe a bit early today. After going back to my room, I tried calling home. Sure enough, it seemed like the sky there was looking as strange as it did on the news. It wasn't as bad as around the town itself, and the fog only rested above Amasaki Island. Coast Guard boats gathered around the island too, making for a pretty tense scene. With Misyr and Il going there, it should be okay now, right? I imagine they were still on their way. I looked at my phone, but I hadn't received any messages from them yet. I just hope nothing's wrong. After giving a small sigh as I put my phone in sleep mode. Or at least I was about to. Oh. NZQ? What's this? It's that static thing again. With noisy static and eerie sound rung through my ears. What? But this sound... I felt like I heard it before. Right? We've heard this twice? Once when we went to the gate. And then, like, before that, when Kotone was at, like, that hotel room. That was, like, a really long time ago. Many hours ago. That's right. It was when I first went to the gate for the first time. Bzzzt. Huh? Bzzzt. It's cute. It's cute. I don't know what he's trying to say. Some code. It's calling me. My phone slips from my hand and bounces after hitting the floor. Not caring about it at all, I walk forward in a daze. NZQ. A white fog appeared, obscuring my mind. NZQ. I kept thinking about my body feeling weird. Kept trying to think of anything at all. NZQ. This voice is creeping into my mind, scattering my thoughts. X. I nod, beckoned by the voice. Yes. I need to open the gate. This is a cafe after all. As a guest who wants to come, then I have to open it. cute. The instant I turn over the gate bursts open from the other side. What's this? Where are we? The moment I came to, the winds from a world I didn't know encompassed me. Just like my first time in Medio, I felt like I was floating, like gravity didn't exist. However, more clearly than that time, I felt a strange power that was pulling me. I was being swallowed in. Thrust with fear, I didn't have time to think of anything. Drowning in the air of this alternate world, I desperately try and bat away this thing clinging onto me. And then, the sensation of my body being flung. There was the sound of the gate closing. Hey, Kotone, you're making such a racket! What the hell are you doing?
I felt like the doorbell just rang. What was that noise? Kotone?
Huh? Where'd she go? Uh-oh. It's cute. I could hear someone calling me. I know I'm hearing it for the first time, but I feel like I heard it somewhere before. NSQ, NSQY, Q, NZQI, what? It's kind and gentle, but there's traces of sorrow. Yes, a voice like I know very well. JQSSTUTZQ. Misyr? That's Misyr saying that? Looks like gibberish. As if surprised by my murmuring, the voice suddenly stops. And then... Wake up! What I heard instead was... Wake up! A very jarring voice. Doesn't seem like a sport toy, does it? Judging by its appearance, I believe it is a human. No, we can't let our guard down yet. Well, they mentioned sport toys, so I'm guessing we got flung onto the island. Regardless of its appearance, it might start breathing fire as soon as it wakes up. Huh? Following the commotion of whispers, something cold pokes my cheek. The sensation shook me awake, and I managed to open my eyes. Where am... I slowly lift my body, and the grains of sand stuck to my cheek fall off. What was reflecting the hollow moonlight were the waves of the sandy shore. And... What's this thing? Oh good, you're awake! What was staring at me were these things that looked like small earthenware. What? Haniwa? We're not Haniwa! Oh, so sorry. I apologize in reflex, but they were clearly Haniwa. They didn't seem to like that, though, as they began jumping around in protest at the sound of that. Now that I got used to this strange scene, I was certain. These little things, they were also non-humans. Well, although that's important too. Where is this? Why am I near the ocean? As I began to speak... It's cute. Now then... Alright, just remembering when we opened the gate. My face turned blue from that memory. That's right. For some reason, I opened the gate on my own. In a panic, I look around, but there wasn't anything around that looked like a gate. In my confusion, the Hanuma pull out my sleeves of my clothes and answer me. Oh, there's more. Your question earlier about where this is. This place is an island. Yes, as you would call it, a Hamasaki Island. Uh-huh. Hamasaki, what? In shock, I stand up. Once more, I carefully look around at my surroundings. Kind of very pretty, the purples and the reds. Super blue ocean. Scary but beautiful. Although the moonlight graced the shores, I could only see so much around me. Still, the distant mountains in the darkness, the lights of the boats off the shore, it somehow felt nostalgic. All those things were trying to appeal to my memories, urging me to believe a single fact. So this place is Hamasaki Island, near my hometown? Well, at least you're not in another world, I guess. Little blessings. You didn't get flung into like a different place like you did with Medio. As I mumbled to myself in shock, the little Haniwas seemed to have agreed amongst themselves what to do next. First, now that we know you aren't a danger to us, we must go to the forest, human! Huh? Oh, why? Why would we go into the forest on purpose? As you can see, visibility is clear along the shoreline, so it's actually more dangerous to be out here. Dangerous? Those Spartor are wandering around here. It means instant death if they find you. Uh-huh. Spartoi? I recognize that word. In fact, I heard it just this evening. Hamasaki Island, and now the Spartoi. What those two words put together meant was... Come now, we must move! We'll explain more later! For now, we just want you to follow us, uh-huh. Okay. I'm confused. Being led by these tiny earthen men. Trusting both my instincts and the harmless creatures, I decide to follow them. Still, I'm surprised you aren't scared of how we look. It normally takes a bit of time to explain ourselves. Oh well, it's kind of work-related. I have a bit of understanding, knowledge, about non-humans. Oh, that makes things easy then! Kuri B. We are what you humans call non-humans, a species called the Kuri. Kuri tribe, non-humans that live on Hamasaki Island. Classified as Type 1 non-humans. They look completely like Haniwas, Japanese clay dolls. For some reason, they talk in a militaristic way. Oh yes, the militaristic ways of Mickey Mouse. That's the name of the species Mikado mentioned. All of a sudden, all of the bad feelings that I had about the situation now were just proven true. Drink some water. This place, without a doubt, was what Mikado was talking about. An area currently deemed a danger zone. That Hamasaki Island. How did I get here? I wish it was a dream, but considering what I've been through in the past... Now that I grasp this terrible situation, I almost planted my face into my palms. Oh. But then I saw a figure in the woods. Is this a skeleton? Is it a friendly skeleton? Oh, that's... Could it be one of the GPM members that came to the island? Do you think? If he is, he's a little bit dead. Hang on. Gotta clear my throat. Right now, I'd be grateful to find anyone who was a fellow human. I mean, I guess he's kind of human, just missing a few pieces of himself. Like his skin and his muscle and all vasculature. The moment I took a step forward to call out to them... Oh. Suddenly, my hand was pulled back from behind me and my mouth was covered. Quiet. As long as you stay still, no harm will come to you. But I just want you to stay quiet so that thing over there doesn't notice us, alright? I don't know who this is. I'm gonna guess. There can only be so many people, unless they decide to, like, introduce another character. Avoiding the voice I recognize, I look again to the spot I was just looking at. Under the faint moonlight, the figures began revealing themselves little by little. What was there was not a person like I originally thought. Oh, yep, Skelly man! Huh. That's kind of spooky. It was a Spartoid. When I heard like Spartoids, I thought like maybe they're like Spartans or something. A little bit more dead. Those hollowed eye sockets, which I could see even from here, sent chills down my body. But yeah, I could see if it was like really dark, you could mistake this as like a person silhouette. It was a skeleton. There was no other way to describe it. But there was no way a skeleton be walking around by itself. It had completely lost all its human flesh. Making gnashing sounds as it walked, it seemed like it was looking for something. It leaves, wandering off to prowl somewhere else. Looks like it left. Sorry for surprising you, I'm going to let go now, so just be sure to be as quiet as possible. If it's... This is either Rindo, Misyr, or Ill. Because, like, those are the three people that are on this island right now, or should be on their way to this island right now. Ah! It is Mr. Rindo, you're safe! Oh man. So are you from around here? It's so late on the island for you too. I knew it! It's you, Mr. Rindo! Surprise! It's Kotone on the island. What? Kotone? You're real, right? Why are you here? Rindo! She was collapsed on the beach earlier! Right now, Amasaki's full of Spartoi. Figuring she'd be in danger, we brought her to you, Rindo! Huh. Well, ultimately, I do think that was a good call, but... Wait, just wait a second. You're here, alone? What about the others? Well, you see, I have to say I don't really know what happened myself. However, there wasn't time to sit idly and explain what I wasn't exactly sure of. A presence was rustling through the grass. Startled, I turned around to find... Oh. Several skeletons from earlier were treading this way, closing in on us. Do any of you know holy magic? Ill! Hurry! We need your holy capabilities. We gotta purge these skeletons. More of them. Alright, we got gun and knife. No magic, just guns. Damn! I wish they'd just give me a break. Mr. Rindo readied his gun. Rindo, please withdraw from that spot. A godly pillar of light descended on us. Alright, that's all. We're getting blown away! Hang on! I grabbed the curry that was about to be blown away from the blast of air. After the air shook through the trees, what was left was... bones that turned to dust from that light, the remains of the Spartoi. Spartoi 1, a new type of non-human that appeared on Amasaki Island. It looks like husk of bones that has been classified as type 3, but it seems somewhat strange, even as a non-human. Immobilization of hostiles confirmed. Extermination complete. The Old Man Rescue Squad, Demon and Angel have arrived! Following the voices, Mr. Rindo on the ground protecting me wiped the sand off him and stood up. Thank you for saving us. I've got to say, we should be a little more gentle doing it though. Okay, Misyr and Ill? I did make sufficient considerations for your safety though. There There was an 11% chance that you wouldn't be able to react and would be consumed by the blast. A 7% chance of severe injuries. Really? You're just like, yeah, that's good enough. I guess I don't realize Kotone's here yet. Those aren't odds you should ignore. Haha, well, we trust you alright. We knew you'd be fine. Yeah, that trust is gonna bring tears to my eyes, more importantly. Why is she here too? I'm grateful you came to help me, but you should have stopped her. As he spoke, he reveals me, curled up in a little ball of the Misyr and ill, but... Surprise! Of course, just like with Mr. Rindo, they were frozen at the sight of me. Why is she here? Huh? Wait, didn't you two bring her here? I had thought you brought her here and she'd gotten separated from you two. No, not at all. Even if we did, we'd never lose her. I agree with Misyr. Scratching his head, understanding the situation, Mr. Rindo looks at me, wanting to say something. Even if you look at me like that, it's not like I could explain what's going on myself. Anyway, let's get away from here for now. It's not exactly a base camp, but there is a location that we've secured for now. We can talk about the current situation and why she's even here, alright? Everyone nods at Mr. Rindo's suggestion, and we all start walking. But with just 2-3 steps, our movements come to a halt. The reason being... Huh? What? The ground suddenly starts shaking, and we couldn't take a step further. Is this an earthquake? No, it's something else. Interesting. So what's shaking? Is this entire space itself? Misyr seems to be in awe, as if to support his observation. Well, that's one thing I don't need to give the total explanation for, I guess. Everyone, look up. Mr. Rindo pointed to the sky. The tainted sky covering Amasaki Island. Oh. It tore apart. I had no other way to describe it. A myriad of lightning-shaped cracks spread across the sky instantly. That's weird. What is that? If this was another alternate world like Medio or Bestia, I would have accepted what was happening here as another strange phenomenon of one of those fantastical places. But this is where I lived. It wasn't another world, but my simple, mundane, normal, regular human world. But I was about to ask why this was here. Mr. Rindo answers my question. That's a wormhole. At least that's what the GPM confirmed. So that is a wormhole. It's quite massive and looks large enough to swallow this entire island. It's hard to believe, but yes, that's definitely connects to another world. As proof, look, here they come. Mr. Rindo points at some of the cracks. One by one, objects rained down from it. They were white and eerie. Spartoi? There must have been 20 of them. They continued to fall across the island. When that finished, the shaking of the space around us that Misyr was talking about slowly crawled to a stop. The cracks in the sky closed too. Alright, let's take a short break. We've got portable rations. We only got portable rations, but take some if you'd like. Thank you. I'll have some. We shall also partake of some. Do the Kree need to eat? Oh, so your little henna was that eat food too, huh? But of course! Though the main things we eat are lizards, beetles, and clay! Beetles? Huh. Well, I guess you take what you can. Well, the eerie darkness still covered us. Taking a rest in a cave that Mr. Rindo had led us to, we sorted through the information we had so far. Mr. Rindo's original mission was to come and investigate the wormhole in the sky and capture or eliminate the Spartoi, but attacked by several Spartoi, most of the team sustained heavy injuries and were now standing by on boats off the shore. Alone, Mr. Rindo found and protected the Kuri who were scattered across the island while investigating the wormhole. Alone? That's too much. Haha, I'm an overachiever. A lot of my jobs never pay off, really. I'm happy that you're worried about me. Also, running around like crazy like I've been doing allowed me to secure quite a few of the Kuri. Smiling, Mr. Rindo points behind him. There were more Kuri cheering excitedly about how safe they felt now that they were in his protection. If not for Rindo, we might have been clumps of dirt right now. We're so very grateful. The Kuri grabbed Mr. Rindo in a clamor. Even though the sight did help relax me, I knew we weren't out of the woods yet. So, what are those non-human Spartoi? That's still under investigation. What we do know is that they're extremely aggressive to those around them. We also know that they're dangerous beings who come falling from that giant wormhole at random, and that's about it. About that wormhole. It's quite different from the ones we're familiar with, isn't it? How do you mean? It's quite clear that the size is different. I've never heard of a wormhole that could swallow an entire island. But most of all, thinking back to the origin of the Spartoi and how long they've been appearing, that wormhole has been opening multiple times. Oh, right. Normally, once a wormhole closes... Right, it won't open again. That's what should be happening. This one opens and closes regularly, and each time it does, Spartoi fall from it. Quite mysterious, isn't it? Seriously, the scope and details are off the charts. It's enough to make the GPM go crazy. And then, Misyr, deep in thought, raised his hand, calling to Mr. Rindo. Hey, Rindo! Do you know what world that wormhole's connected to? No idea. At the very least, we know that it's one of the ones that the GPM isn't aware of. From the Spartoi's appearance, I don't assume it's a safe world at the very least. The demon and the angel leaving the two of them to think. Mr. Rindo continues, now casting the spotlight on me. Alright then, we've explained what we can for now. You're up next, Kotone. Yes. So how the heck did you get here? Without non-human help, no less. About that, I'm not really sure. In any case, I can tell you what I remember in the order that it happened. I explained all the details without hiding anything, and everyone's face grew dark as they fell deeper into their thoughts. You were called by someone. You had a similar situation back when we went to Medio, too. If I remember correctly, you heard something like a voice. You mentioned it. You mentioned that before, right? Yeah. It seems to me like these are deliberate actions someone's making. Maybe a non-human from another world. Perhaps. It's irritating that the only countermeasure we have is to be on guard. Yeah. Hearing how it could be someone intentionally doing this to me made it feel so scary. I've got to make sure that I'm not in that room alone at night anymore. In any case, I've contacted the shop, just to be safe. Canis and Ignis will close the gate before heading this way. I'm sure they were quite a panic after you suddenly disappeared. Il, who managed to somehow have enough reception to make a call from this distant island, smiles at me. Okay, thanks, Il. I made them worry too, huh? In the end, none of us have any idea about why this is happening. That said, it's not like we can just leave you out here. No, right. The Spartoi are here after all. Right, so Misyr, Il, can you take her back to Enchante with you? That would be fine, of course, but... What about you? You gonna stay here then? There's nothing I'd love more right now than to have a cup of coffee at Enchante, but... Part of the duty of the GPM is to protect non-humans. I have to secure as many Zakuri as I can, while I can. If things get a little too hairy, though, I have to decide to call it quits. That's what Mr. Rindo says. But he'll be running all across the island trying to escape those terrifying Spartoi all by himself. I'm just so worried. Let's ask Misyr and Il to help. They're here! They could probably, like, defend both Mr. Rindo and I. Misyr, Il? Could you two help gathering the curry? You'd probably be able to do it faster as well. I don't mind, but what will you do? My family's place is nearby. I can wait for everyone there. I actually wanted to help here, but I know I'd only get in the way. Considering that, the best decision would to ask the two for help. However, Misyr raised an objection. I might be against that. Huh? How come? Like Mr. Rindo said, it's dangerous here. I'd just get in the way if I stayed. Oh no. It's not that I don't agree with this idea you and Rindo are suggesting it, it's just... You were sent here through some phenomenon, and we don't know why or how it happened. Can't say for certain it won't happen again once we're separated, right? Oh. The accidents that had happened before only happened when you went through the gate. But with that wormhole up there opening and closing, this situation is so abnormal that we don't know what might happen. Well... Indeed. A wormhole that big could consistently affect this entire area. Yeah. This time you luckily dropped back into the human world and met up with us right away. But if something were to happen and we ended up in a situation where we couldn't come and save you, not even death would stop me from feeling the weight of the regret from that. Misyr. So, I know I'm asking for a lot. Please, can you let me protect you? Honestly, between the Spartoi and the wormhole, this place was now an area filled only with danger to me. But I give a small nod to Misyr, who is looking at me so gravely. Okay, please protect me. Thank you. I'll be absolutely sure that I do. That being the case, Rindo, for those reasons we have no choice but to remain here a bit longer. Therefore, in order to use my time effectively, allow me to help in securing the curry. Alright. What you all are saying makes sense. I'll leave Kotone to you then. I'm going to hand off the curry I have now to my subordinates on the boat for safety. Kotone, I'm repeating myself, but be careful. Yes, I'll be sure not to do anything dangerous. Everyone, to do this for our brethren, thank you so much, Please help us! We saw Mr. Rindo and the others off. Then quickly moved into action, taking the curry that had been left behind to help us navigate the area. Now then, we need to gather the other curry in hiding around the large island. So, do you have any idea where they might be? Our settlement is normally supposed to be at the center of the island, but everyone is scattered from the attack. They'll be hiding in gaps between rocks or whatever animal burrows they can find, So essentially they'll be keeping quiet and still somewhere close to the ground, is that right? Precisely! They won't move an inch! That makes it worse. It seems really proud of that fact, but isn't this a bad thing? Do they have like a signal? Can we like just have a signal to like call them out of hiding? And as I expected, it wore a concerned look. We won't be able to find them using any large-scale methods of detection. Neither sound nor temperature will be useful here. They have no body temperature. There really is no difference between them and a pile of rocks or ores. They're basically just pieces of earth. What to do? Bits of earth buried within the earth. I think I remember back when I was in grade school that there was some news about valuable ancient earthenware found on this island. It's as if I've learned the truth of the legends behind that. Did they just find Hanawa, these little Hanawa corpses? Ultimately, we decided to just go around and look for them normally for now while thinking of other ways to search for them. Along with the curry carried in my arms, we walk off together into the woods. During this time, though he said nothing might come of it, he flew across the sky further away from us, periodically casting search magic. Still, this island's really big, isn't it? Have you been to this island before, Miss Kotone? Oh, yeah. I grew up nearby. I used to come here with friends when I was a kid. Coming here and exploring the island was what all the kids did back then. We'd come by boat with everyone. Probably not the time to think about it, but that was also nostalgic. So you were a pretty active kid back then, huh? Not really, but I did like going out to explore and look at all sorts of things. Now that I think of it, that must have been Grandpa's influence too. Narrowing my eyes, immersed in my memories, I turned the conversation over to Misyr. What about you, Misyr? What kind of kid were you? You said in the past that you were a noble. Oh, I wonder. It's been a few thousand years, so it's a little difficult to remember. Though I think I was a pretty normal kid. I think I was happy. Felt a bit strange to me that he spoke as if he wasn't talking about himself. I haven't really had a lot of opportunities with Misyr to talk to him about what his past was like. Sorry, hold on. Misyr puts his index finger to his lips and glances to his left and right. Nope. An ambush. 2 on the right and 2 on the left. The spar toy we saw amongst the trees. And goodbye. With just a snap of Misyr's fingers, with only that, they all turned to dust. Wait a minute! How can you be this powerful? You turned them to dust with just a snap? I'm not sure you can tell, but he's actually a demon lord. I could at least handle this much. After this one-sided fight was over. You're alright. There were about 20 of them up ahead, so I prioritized with them. Welcome back, Il. Thanks for handling that. How about the curry? Well, to try and find these things which are less like living creatures and more like inanimate objects was quite the task. Oh dear! My brethren, or should I say we, seem to be causing you so much trouble, huh? Let's just keep up our search. Mr. Endo said we still had some time. Nodding in agreement, Misyr brushes through the grass where the smart toy were earlier. Misyr, is something wrong? Just had this feeling. After taking them down, something felt a little odd. He kneels down and stares at the remains. That ash-like material. These remains... As he spoke, Misyr picks up remains of the pulverized spar toy in his hand. Right as I was about to ask about that weird feeling he felt, as if to stop me, or maybe to even answer me. A dense sound as if the air was creaking could be heard across the entire island. Here it comes again! It was just as before. The sky groaned as several fissures began to run through it. As if it was blood oozing from a wound, I could clearly see spar toy one after the other raining down on the island. The spar toy aren't necessarily a threat to us, but to the Kuri, it isn't a very favorable situation for their enemies to increase in numbers like this. Yeah. As time goes on, the Kuri's survival rate and even the danger towards me increases. As I was about to ask what we should do. Misyr? I noticed something was strange about him. Kotone, ill. Both of you stand behind me for a minute. That isn't something we can leave alone. There was unusual tension in Misyr's voice. Before we can ask what was wrong. What? Il suddenly grabs me in his arms and jumps back in retreat. And right after he spins around and spreads his wings in an effort to protect me, from behind him... Whoa. Faster than the blink of an eye. A wave of heat rushed enough to burn pushes against us in a rush of light and harsh wind. Wait, what? A loud roar, scorching heat, blinding light. The sound, the heat, the light. A thick streak of purple lightning casts its hue onto the world, eating into the cracks in the sky. It all happened so suddenly. It took a few dozen seconds to realize it was all something cast from Misyr. Still blinded by the flashes in my eyes, and a ringing still in my ears, I looked back with Il, who had protected me, towards Misyr and approached him. He was completely different than usual. He had a strange aura of quiet and coldness around him, enough to make me freeze. Misyr? Cautiously, I call out to him. His shoulders pricked in surprise, as if in a fluster. Misyr turns back towards us. Oh, sorry, Kotone. Those cracks in the air. They were worse than I thought, so... Anyway, I thought I needed to erase them. Although I suppose I felt I needed to use enough force to shift everything around. Yes, but I believe that was a bit dangerous. Myself excluded. Did you calculate how those nearby might be affected by your attack? I thought I was gonna die. Right, I'm sorry. Misyr's face revealed an anguish I'd never seen before. Yeah, that situation was a bit dangerous now that they mention it, but... No, it's okay, Misyr. Look, I'm totally fine. Il protected me, and I'm sure we can do something about... the cracks in the sky. Right, I was about to finish my sentence, as if to deny my assertion. Oh. That's what? A giant one of them appeared. Is it just like a giant... Is it like a giant one just trying to get through? What? What is that? That giant thing up there, huh? What appeared from the shattered sky was... an arm? A frightening looking arm made up of bones, just like the spar toy. I couldn't really tell from this far, and I wondered how giant that thing in the sky was. Here it comes! Il's warning caused me to brace myself, and then... the giant fist of bone charged right at us with incredible speed. The poem looked like a dot moments ago, but now it was large enough to fill my view. Everything happened in slow motion. My body immobilized stood there staring. Oh. You see Misyr using his powers. This is quite a wait. Misyr and Ill, who quickly got in front of me, stopped the overwhelming fist right in front of us by using their magic. Misyr! Ill! With a crushing sound, the fist of bone met the two who would clash against it. I never thought these two would ever have to struggle against anything. Witnessing this wild scene before me. Another giant arm of bone flung itself up, readying itself to smash down upon us. Who is this? Rug! Oh! What came flying in from behind us? A slash of darkness, a fist engulfed in flames. Sent the encroaching bony arm flying. Ill! Leave this to me. After the attack of unexpected helpers came a barrage of dark and light. The terrifying bony arm then started to crumble as if melting back into the sky. Without a sound, it went back to wherever it came from, using the cracks along the sky. They're here! The reinforcements!
We hurried thinking something might happen. As it turns out, we were correct. We were in a fret for sure.
It looked like it was about to really let you guys have it, so we laid into it heavy. But what the hell was that just now? Canis! Ignis! My relief and cheers of joy spilled forward to our reinforcements that came crashing in.
Apologies for being so late, although we did hurry as best we could.
No, you really did save us, but how did you two get here? They didn't take the bullet train, did they? As I worried. Huh? What do you mean? We ran, of course. I guess you ran here along the shore, but we're on an island. How'd you get here? I already told you we ran across the surface of the water. Uh-huh.
Conversely, I ran along the ocean floor. Julian cannot really run after all.
I know I should take them seriously, but the way they skirt around these insane facts really just the way of these Enchante men.
In any case, I'm glad you are safe, though we do not fully understand what's going on here. Please do tell us what is happening on this island.
Canis is just so heavy that he just had to walk on the floor. Kind of reminds me of like the Pirates of the Caribbean. When like the skeletons are just walking along the ocean floor. Right when the swaying of the trees began to settle from the black blast of wind created by Misyr's attack earlier. Noticing the fight with a giant bone arm, Mr. Rindo regrouped with us as well. For the first time in days, the regulars of Enchante were gathered together.
In other words, the origins of that giant arm that ripped the sky open remain unclear.
Yes, it seems the world beyond that wormhole is one that the GPM doesn't know about yet. That giant arm that appeared after the spark toy. Arms. Eerie arms that look like assembled bones that appeared from the fissure in the sky above Amasaki Island. The details are unknown, but they're as aggressive as Spartoy. I was guessing it was a Spartoy, just like a really big one. We didn't know what in the world it was, but the regulars were able to keep it at bay for the time being. They almost certainly expected that it would appear again. It felt like it didn't fight back at all. I'm sure it's just run away just for now. Its eye is big enough to tear the heavens apart. It was so extraordinary. The moment I saw it, all I could do was freeze on the spot. And kind of helpless. Kind of helpless when it's like that big. But honestly, I really didn't want to think about it attacking again. I glanced over at Misyr next to me, and sure enough, he was deep in thought. He looked down at the ground, pensive as ever.
Alright then, Rindo. You did say you would speak to us. What bad news do you bear?
Well, so, actually... For an instant, Mr. Rindo looked at me and the curry in my arms. The increasing number of spot toy and... that mysterious giant arm that attacked all of you earlier, and... the counter-attack that came immediately afterward... The higher-ups are looking at the potential for danger in this situation very closely. They consider the wormhole on this entire island to be a complete threat to mankind. They're going to annihilate it all. What do you mean, annihilate?
I am certain it is exactly as he says. They will destroy the entire island.
The curry holds his breath at Canis, who was speaking for Mr. Rindo. They made the call worried about the fact that the Swartoy's numbers are increasing. They might move into the town eventually. They might figure that while they're isolated to this island, they take them out in one blow. They've already contacted the Air Force and the Navy to deploy their forces. But even if they blow up the island, those skeletons are still gonna keep falling from the cracks in the sky, right? It's not addressing the main issue. Higher-ups understand that now, but since the decision has been made, the request has already begun moving forward. Normally, deploying a naval corps would take way more time. But unfortunately for us, ships were already nearby. There's just no end to the bad luck. Is this island cursed or something? Besides all that, what was that giant counterattack? It's definitely a catalyst for them to want to do this. Sorry, that would be me. Misyr honestly confesses, listlessly raising his hand. Of course. Canis and Ignis sigh together in sync. Well, I assume you tried dealing with that wormhole as best you could. Sorry, but as the offender, I'm ready to take full responsibility. Yeah? Well, in that case, I won't keep nagging you over it. Mr. Rindo shrugs his shoulder and goes back to talking. Doesn't matter now, though. That attack will occur in 1 hour. There's no question that this island will be reduced to ash. Did they give Mr. Rindo a bill? They even called me, telling me to cease my rescue efforts and withdrawal. Okay, so at least they're not abandoning Rindo. Like, that would kind of suck. No! Clearly the country should do everything it can to protect its people from harm. But it was clear that non-humans stood outside the bounds of these protections. So then, are we just supposed to leave our brethren still out there to meet their fate? No, that doesn't need to happen. With an unusually serious expression on him, Misyr gently pats the head of the curry. I mentioned earlier, as one of the culprits, I'm ready to take full responsibility. That being said, what exactly do you intend to do? If we are to break down the situation, I believe something must be done about that wormhole itself in the end. Il was completely right. Just like Ignis said, it didn't matter if the island was obliterated. If those cracks in the sky still exist, the issue of the growing number of Spartoi and that gigantic, terrifying arm, neither of those would be solved. That wormhole that appeared in the sky, I think I'm gonna be able to close it using my power. Misyr made his offer after taking a breath. Everyone stood there wide-eyed at him. Are you sure?
That's very welcome news if that's true.
I think so. After hitting it with some of my power, I got a sense of its scale and what it is. It's just... I have to make some preparations, and that will take a little time. Well, I mean... For some reason, Misyr had an apologetic look on his face. It's a large-scale technique. It's difficult, and I need to have total concentration. It'll take a lot to fight the spar toy and the arm while holding off the advancing forces. It won't be easy. After explaining the particulars... Sorry about all this. I'm partially to blame for this. I was hoping I wouldn't burden any of you, and that I'd be able to handle it alone. So, none of you need to help, okay? If I try hard enough, I can do this alone. The others remained standing as Misyr covered his mouth after his awkward speech. Oh. Ugh. Ignis flies into Misyr with a merciless kick. Well, can't say I didn't see that coming. Why is everyone hitting him?
Humph!
Ow! Is Il gonna get a punch in? No? As Misyr was losing his balance, Mr. Rindo delivers a chop to the back of his head. And as he picked himself back up, Canis came with a devastating flick, also to the head. With all these somewhat painful attacks, Misyr couldn't decide whether to cover for the back or the front of his head. Bill's just like, what's going on? Ah. Really? Ugh. Bill's just like, is this a game? I'll join too. After curiously watching the steady string of attacks, Il delivers a splendidly graceful and merciless slap to Misyr's cheek. What? What are you guys doing? That was a pretty good one, huh? Unable to stand any more damage, Misyr's body took a step back before crumbling backwards. In his daze, Misyr finally put his hand over his reddened cheek where the loudest sound of all the attacks was made. Open-ended slap Il at me. Huh? What's everyone doing? Are we picking on the Demon Lord now? As Misyr laid there teary-eyed, come on, he's a Demon Lord, shouldn't you just like, come wipe them all out, right? I smiled as I began to understand what everyone was trying to say. Is this a way of just like, a big pat on the back? Just with, just messing with each other? No, Misyr. Your logic, your apologies, and the need to take responsibility. I think they're saying that they don't need to hear any of that, right? We're all friends here, so of course we'd help you. That's what they're trying to say. Huh? What she said, listening to you right now. Ugh. Where's all that arrogance of yours? Babbling on and on like, I'm so sorry and I'll do it myself. I never heard you sound more annoying. Misyr sat there surprised while Canis explained, sighing in amusement.
Disregarding our personal matters, the worlds we come from, we are all facing the same problem now. This would be an acceptable moment to be honest with yourself and rely on us, Misyr. It seems, because you know you are so powerful, you have a tendency to do things on your own.
That's true, huh? I should update my report on you with that. Ah, I see. So that's why everyone was attacking him so blindly. I wasn't sure why. I had just gone on with the flow, following everyone's actions. It seems my judgment wasn't incorrect, hmm? Well, your slap was pretty intense for just going with the flow. For a moment, he didn't seem very satisfied with this. Misyr? I'm certain everyone here feels the same way about all this. Not that I personally can do much to help. Everyone support me and leave it all to the all-powerful Demon Lord. That's the kind of boasting we expect from Misyr, the Misyr we all know and care about. Am I really like that? Well, I guess so, huh? Misyr's smile eventually peeks out, showing his gratitude to the others. Thank you. I'll be counting on all of you then. With all your help, I'll clean up that wormhole in no time. Yeah! The same as usual, just a little different. His purpose was declared proudly. Alright, here we go. Off the shore, further out in the ocean. Seen above the endless expanse of water. What was that sound? Were we like on a rocket or something? Ominous aircraft cutting through the skies. Oh, this is the Air Force. The bulk of the Defense Force scrambled for deployment. F-15J fighter jets. The pilots in their cockpits held their breath as they approached the target, gazing at the cracks running across the sky. They thought it absurd to receive an order to attack the sky above an island off the coast. Now facing the menacing sight before them, they were forced to stop laughing. They took their mission seriously now. However, the pilots, taken in by the abnormalities of the sky, were in for a bigger surprise. As they failed to notice the winged angel flying as fast as the jets were at the very speed of sound. 6 identical fighters. Their numbers aren't great, likely because they were called on an emergency. That said, it would be inefficient to have to go up to each and every one of them to make them turn back. Il made a decision, not in seconds, but in an instant. I'll force an emergency landing then. The moment he makes his decision, Il flaps his wings, ascending into the heavens. Considering his target's speed, he'll have to cut out performing his usual calculations. Instead, inhaling deeply, his lungs fill with oxygen. Oh, singing. With a special prayer, his voice sings towards the heavens. Even though they understood the urgency in being scrambled, the pilots inside the fighter jets instantly forgot the danger that was right in front of them and were entranced by the singing voice that came out from nowhere. However, the objective of the fallen angel wasn't exactly to provide a free concert. Suddenly, the fighter jets Il viewed below him slowly started to descend. Observing this, Il applied some of his magic, allowing him to communicate with the pilots who were panicking at their plane's behavior. Apologies for the interruption, everyone. I have assumed control over all the jets flying in this area. They will touch down on the water soon, so may I ask you to brace for impact. Of course your safety is ensured. What? That's impossible! The voices we heard amongst the pilots, one after another through their radio. Just as the fallen angel declared. The jets descended until they touched the water, no longer unbound by gravity. Are you just gonna like blow up the island? I don't know what they can do about the wormhole. Shoot it with missiles. At the same time, right as the fighters touched down on the water one after another. Well, look at that! The shut-in's actually making an effort! Ignis murmurs to himself along the shoreline as he squints up at the ominous-looking sky. Well, I guess I should get moving too. With that, Ignis kicks off some sand and starts to run. Kicking up clumps of wet sand, he cuts into the cold waves of the ocean. Without any hesitation, he didn't stop at the water's edge, he ran straight into it. Left foot up before my right one sinks! Right foot up before my left one sinks! Kotone would be standing in amazement if she were here. He was actually running on water. Little explosions blew under his feet before they touched down as he glares at the Navy ships. Whoa, look at all the boats they brought. Sorry, but you can't pass through here. With a shout, he swings his arms. A giant wall of flames, hundreds of meters tall and wide, erupt from him. It was a cage of fire. They were the prey. If the surrounded two ships make it impossible for them to move forward. Now, I just hope they're still able to sit still for a little while. It would be more of a problem if they actually tried to advance and just ended up sinking. As long as no one gets hurt, though, I'm sure the GPM would foot the bill. Yeah, don't worry about it. If it happens. With a cocky laugh, Ignis raises his hand. Great work. I see things went well on your end. Fallen Angel seemed to have accomplished his goals. As well, grabbed Ignis's wrist, hoisting him up into the sky. So what now? We float up here like a couple of balloons and wait to deal with anything that comes to bother us? Heading to shore would be a waste. I'm sure the others can deal with themselves. We should do as you suggest, Ignis. However... Huh? Ignis, if we return to Enchante safely, would you consider cutting back on your portions? Your weight has increased 2.4 kilograms since the reopening. Did you know that? Even at a time like this, you really don't know how to show any tact, do you? For the record, I'm not fat. I just got some more muscle, that's all. Underneath the abnormal sky, along the rising wall of flames and the fighter jets bobbing in the water, the two regulars from Enchante continue their normal everyday banter. Oh, back to Kotone. Ha ha ha. Man, they're really putting on a show. A wall of fire on the ocean, huh? You'd surely be worried what sort of natural disaster it was if you didn't know what was really behind it. And Ill's power is what's caused the planes to make emergency landings?
It's those two we're talking about. They wouldn't mistakenly kill anyone.
While Ignis and Ill were holding back the defense forces. In an open spot along the coast, while making detailed gestures with his hands covered in lights, he concentrates, drawing a complex magic circle on the beach. Drawing and layering it on, and drawing and layering, and drawing and layering on some more. Looked like a complicated schematic. It was so detailed that just looking at it started to make me feel confused. Now, I'm wondering, how useful can I really be? Hey, Canis, are you feeling up for this?
But of course, like Misyr, I will not allow anyone here to get a single scratch on them.
Haha. Hearing you be so confident makes me feel like I can slack off. But I'll make sure to do my part too. A few minutes later, as Misyr was continuing his work, the first bead of sweat had dripped down from his forehead. Alright, all done. While wiping his forehead, Misyr was standing in the middle of a completed magic ring. So then, Kotone, can you come next to me? Be careful not to step on the ring. Huh? Me? Why? Once those cracks appear again, the Spartoy or maybe that arm will likely attempt another attack. Canis and Rindle will be defending us from nearby. Oh, I see. This would be easier, I guess, instead of me running and hiding somewhere out of reach. Just have one target to defend. Following his suggestion, I walk towards the center of the magic ring and stand next to Misyr. The curry that was also that was with us also stood at our feet, ready to burrow itself when the time was right. I actually hoped it would hide back in the cave. But the regular suggested that in the worst case scenario, it'd be safest to be close by, so it stayed here with us. We have like all of them. Alright. Alright, you two, you both ready? I'm sure the next cracks that appear right when I fire the next wormhole is going to open. The spore toy in that arm. They'll see us as a threat and I'll focus their attack on us.
Leave your protection to me. No matter who the enemy is, I will not allow anyone to get in your way.
Well, I suppose I do have some combat training. You can let me handle the spore toy at least. Receiving a response from the two reliable men, Misyr gives a cheery smile. Misyr? Is it okay that I'm here? I know it's safer here, but I might ruin your focus, so I'm a bit worried. You don't have to worry about that. Actually, with you by my side, feels like I'm right back at Enchante. This definitely relaxes me. It makes me feel at ease. I guess it's like I smell something familiar, and I don't have to be nervous at all. Misyr lets out a sigh and grins. Oh man, just mentioning you and Enchante. I want to go back and drink some of the coffee you pour so bad. In reply, Misyr's gentle voice and smile. Well, if y'all get back alright, I'll pour you a special coffee. Just for you. Special? Yeah. Actually, I've been researching a lot and I've been working on my own blend. Something no one's ever made before. I haven't had anyone taste it yet. So Misyr, if you'd like to, would you do me the honor of being the first to try it? As I considered how simple and quaint my token of appreciation must have been. Misyr looked like he was at a loss. Me? The first? To drink a blend you created? Misyr? Oh, it's nothing. I was getting myself ready, that's all. Okay, just for that amazing prize, As Misyr spoke, the crack splayed through the sky. Here it comes! I listened to our surroundings. I didn't hear anything that sounded like fighter jets or navy ships at all. That being the case, all we need to do is concentrate on the threat that the wormhole and the spore toy. After confirming that was the case, Misyr laughs and continues what he was saying. I guess I'll have to do my best to put on this show. Oh. We got a CG. Sepulchrum. Right as Misyr whispered part of the emblem at his feet came up off the ground, floating as if it had a will of its own. They floated up around him one after another, turning upright, sideways, changing shape. It looked like a keyboard made of light. The moment Misyr put his hands above them, I heard a colorful variety of sounds that spread across the world one by one. Excessa terrarum. Playing his mystical piano, his fingers slide one after another. Restituo. He didn't seem like a demon lord. He was a pianist playing the most sublime melody you ever heard. Misyr's performance began to have an effect. It was as if they were screaming. The cracks in the sky all began to groan loudly. Hey, leave the music to me. I'm hoping to get a nice dance out of you. As Misyr called that out. Oh, 10 spore toy from the forest appeared by the shore, charging towards Misyr as soon as they saw him. The difference in our numbers makes me hold my breath. I like to see that one of Mr. Rindo's rounds hit a spore toy right in the forehead. Well, I guess it's time to work after being treated to such a nice melody. Oh, shooting our screen. Immediately after, I heard 5 gunshots, one after another. And in no time, their numbers were down to 4. Still refusing to shy away, he readies a knife and continues his attack. Here we go! Easily kicks one right in front of him and cuts through two more nearby. My word! The Spartans are getting pulverized, huh? While the Curry and I stood stunned, Mr. Rindo quickly reloads. And the remaining 2, in no time, met their fate by the barrel of his gun. That'll do it. Wow! That was amazing! I didn't know you were so nimble, Rindo! That statement bugged me for some reason. You know I take my job seriously, right? Thanks for my training for that gun show. Canis is our trump card, but I'll take on whatever I can to the best of my abilities.
You are quite reliable, Rindo.
Probably trying to reserve his strength, Canis thrusts his sword into the ground. Continuing on, as if in rhythm with Mysyr's performance, Mr. Rindo takes on the Spartoi that attacked us from every direction. He takes one down with each turn of his head. Round after round, calmly and with precision. He had no sort of overwhelming power, but his shots were never missing their target. Clearly showed Mr. Rindo's composure as well as his tempered accuracy. Mr. Rindo quickly reloads again, after returning several more Spartoi to Ash. There's more. There's the sound of rustling grass. From beyond the trees, more Spartoi reveal themselves. Right when Mr. Rindo was about to ready his gun, for some reason, as he thought it over, he lowered his weapon. He came back towards me, rather back to the Curry at my feet. Hey, can I ask something? How possible is it that your friends might be over by those Spartoi? I'd say it isn't possible. On top of the dirt being loose over there's tons of grass, so it's hard to dig through the ground. I see, so I can just blow them all apart. Huh? I'm gonna grant the holy hand grenade. With that, Mr. Rindo pulled out this. Mr. Rindo? I spoke out to him without even thinking. I could even tell what he had in his hand, a tried and true. Don't worry, it's a grenade made by Mikado himself, and it's a bit different from a regular one. This one's only meant for non-humans. With a kind smirk, Mr. Rindo doesn't hesitate to pull the pin. He tosses it effortlessly at the Spartoi. Yag! With the Curry's scream, a violent sound and a shockwave erupted through the forest. And following that, skeletal remains rained down the area. Oof, that had a bit of power to it. Gotta make sure I report that to Mikado. I mean, if it just shattered bones, I'm pretty sure it would shatter human bones too, so... Mr. Rindo spoke completely nonchalantly. Now I'm wondering, how useful can I really be? Hey, Canis, are you feeling up for this?
But of course, like Misyr, I'll not allow anyone here to get a single scratch on them.
Haha. Hearing you be so confident makes me feel like I can slack off. But I'll make sure to do my part too. That's what he said before the fight started, but... Mr. Rindo, what were you talking about earlier? You're really strong too. Haha, you're giving me too much praise. I'm just a regular guy who knows a few moves. I can't compare with the others at all. Even though he laughed it off, it was clear that his actual physical capabilities were more than just a few moves. Alright, Canis, as far as I can see, it looks like there'll be more of them. Can you give me a hand now?
Understood.
And that's a lot. Just as Canis boldly stepped forward, now double the number. No, much more than that. As if they decided to finally do harm to Misyr, what pushed forward was a massive amount of Sportoy coming from every direction in front of us with a thirst for blood. They had to have been over 50 in number.
Not to worry, this many of them will be no issue.
After he spoke, Canis raised his swords and suddenly disappeared. And in one breath, several of the Sportoy to the right of us were cut in two, right at their torsos. Just as I was about to gasp. In front and to the left, the rest of them are sliced up to the waist up. They turn to ash, blowing away in the wind. Wow, going fast enough to leave an after image. That's stuff you only see in manga. Mr. Rindo elaborated on just what happened, what his true strength was like. The knight had simply swung his sword at the countless number of bone soldiers. No magic. No controlling of fire. Just swinging the giant sword he had in his hand. Trying to think of anything in this world that had power comparable to that. Sure, anything I can think of would pale in comparison to Canis. As he lifts his head. He saw numerous Sportoy crawling out towards us from the cracks Misyr was trying to seal. Just how many of them there were there? A shiver ran down my spine after seeing the endless army of bones.
Unfortunately, I have no obligation to wait patiently for you all to fall to the ground.
Crouching down lower than normal, Canis readies his sword once more. And the next instant, the sword itself let out a roar. This wasn't a metaphor, but what I actually saw in front of me. All Canis did was stand there and swing his sword. But he formed a blade slashing through the air with a huge force. And then... Oh. With just that, all the Sportoy that were falling from the sky had vanished. Kotone's just like, ah. What do I do? I should be a little afraid at least, but all I can do is stand there dazed. I felt like I realized once again why my regulars were called the final boss. And then, one within the group of these last bosses. The one they all refer to as a lord. Not bad! Putting on quite the show has gotten me pretty worked up too. Misyr's finger movements sped up quickly. Then the shapes of the cracks in the sky slowly began to waver. More light spread the harder he played. The cracks groaned more the faster he was. They continued to shrink and sink with Misyr's performance. It'd be really nice if you could wrap all this up already. The cracks looked like they were being slowly pushed in from the sides and were definitely getting smaller. It's over. Any one of us would have thought that one. Nope. It's that arm again! The giant menace appeared again, forcing open these fissures that were beginning to close. It was that single giant bony arm. And then, just like last time, its fist came hurling towards Misyr and I in a simple attempt at crushing our bodies.
Misyr, Kotone!
Nina stepped forward with his sword, ready to protect us, but... It's alright, Canis. You leave this to me and step back. After that, Misyr lightly exhales. As the fist collides, Misyr uses all fingers from both his hands and plays the keyboard like magic circle. The overwhelming force digs into the ground around us, sending it flying. Ag? What? With the large bony arm that stopped right in front of us, made a sound like it was crying out. And I saw it slowly start to crumble away from end to end. And then, Misyr turns his face as it crumbles away. This world isn't where you, but that goes for me too. Can't always get what we want. This world just isn't made for non-humans. That's why you need to go back home. He spoke somewhat sadly. With the tune, he began to play again. This time, surely, the eerie arm turned to inanimate ash. With the giant arm now gone, the cracks in the sky vanished without a trace. As if all of what just happened never did. It's all normal now. No more red, just regular island. Is it over? It all ended as soon as it started. Looking around, although the ground was fairly broken up because of the fight, what also remained was the usual veil of night with nothing strange to it at all. The usual Amasaki Island. The sea casting its waves, a familiar calm to their rhythm. Hey, Misyr. It just didn't feel real to me. As I pulled on the sleeve beside me without thinking. Huh? Whoa! Oh. Was he tired? Wow. It's been a long time since I've used magic like that. I'm tired. Okay, just crashing on the beach. I knew this was real by the sound of the demon lord laughing on the floor and embracing me. Kotone, are you hurt? Not at all. Actually, I'm more worried about you. Well, it's just a little fatigue, really. I'll make a complete recovery once I try that new coffee blend of yours. Hey, that's a really easy recovery. Too easy, even if it was in a video game. Well, I've got to make sure to give my all to make it especially delicious. It'll be a cup of coffee so satisfying that he'll shout for joy when he tries it. Good work, Mr. Demon Lord. When you get back to Enchante, you just take a nice rest over some great coffee. Thanks. You make sure you don't push yourself, though, my cute little owner. You did just get thrown in the middle of a raging battle between humans and non-humans after being transported here randomly. Yeah, I think I've had enough excitement tonight to last me a lifetime. Probably enough for my next life, too. He laughed at my comment, but it seemed like he was dialed in on what I said. Misyr Rex, too, a coffee-loving demon king known to all. He knows much about coffee and is also skilled at brewing it. Seems he has met the heroine once before and is proactive in helping her. He visits the shop every day, but due to his work as a demon king, he generally visits during the night. Might be a bit early to say that. Huh? Again, he gives his usual kind smile. I definitely hate to get into a situation like that again. But Kotone, as long as you're the owner to Enchante, these strange, sprightly days will simply continue, he whispers. Afterwards, it was confirmed that every single one of the Spartoi were eliminated from Amasaki Island. The GPM higher-ups also acknowledged the anomaly was dealt with and closed the case. The plan to destroy Amasaki was also cut. The defense forces withdrew, having no idea what happened. We never understood what caused the wormhole or what that arm was exactly. They say the GPM will be looking into that. The Kuri were also finally able to reunite, with the threat now gone. Given their thanks again and again, they saw us off as we left the island. That's right, the one that was near us during the battle. It mentioned it didn't come out right away, wanting to make sure Misyr and I had a little bit of space. Okay. Just awkwardly just watching them embrace on the beach. Also, about the attack Misyr launched that the GPM higher-ups considered to be one of the threats. What? Well, but hey, that was some crazy wormhole, am I right? Wow, it's so scary to think there was something that can make the Spar toy capable of such an insanely strong power. Misyr decided to blame it on the Spar toy. Deflected the issue, and it was considered resolved in any case. This is a blatant lie. Afterwards, on the boat ride back, I called my parents. I was able to confirm that they were safe, as the Spar toy had never come to shore. Seemed no tragedies occurred, and the regulars and I decided to return by rail back to Tokyo. Well, all ends well. Oof. Ha. Without warning, my eyelids slowly open. Seems like as soon as I got back, I fell right to sleep. I look at the time, and we were approaching the time today that would change into tomorrow. Seriously, today was a roller coaster ride. Yuppie. Goro looked like he was sleeping so comfortably. I gaze at him as I think back on the events of today. I went out to the shopping district. I was flying away through the gate. I saw a giant non-human at Amasaki Island. Then everyone from Enchante handled it. All of that happened in a few hours between the afternoon today and now, on the verge of the next day. My regulars here really are some amazing people. I woke up. Maybe I'll have some warm milk and try to go back to sleep. Be careful not to wake Koro up and quietly step down to the cafe. Huh? Considering how late it was, I didn't think anyone else would be here, but I heard a noise. I wandered outside wondering who was out here to find. Oh, it's Canis. Canis looking up at the moon and the mist hanging in the air. Canis, is something wrong? When I called out to him, Canis slowly swings his large frame around.
Ah, Kotone. No, nothing. I'm not here for any particular reason. I just came out here to enjoy the cool air.
I see. I woke up right now. Can I join you?
I do not mind, though you will be accompanying a man of only a few words.
You know I don't care. With his permission, I stand along with Canis looking up at the night sky. The flowers blooming in the garden seemed to welcome me as they were swaying in the breeze.
It's nice out tonight. The sky looks so peaceful. You never imagined the events today actually happened.
Yeah. With Canis' words, I gave a sigh of relief, finally feeling like regular peaceful days here had returned. However,
am sorry.
Huh? I was taken aback by Canis, who suddenly lowered his head apologetically. What did he mean by his apology? What's the matter, Canis? Can't think of anything that you would need to apologize to me for.
Though you might not, I do. When you were pulled to the gate, I hadn't even realized there was something strange happening.
But...
Even though we were able to reunite safely this time, if something would have happened to you, I would never be able to face someone again.
That was a mysterious circumstance that no one could explain. It couldn't be helped that Canis and Ignis didn't notice. He had no need to apologize. Though, I thought it might be insensitive if Canis was still worried about me. In that case. Thank you for worrying about me. I'll be careful moving forward, too. And if anything like this happens again, I'll do my best and ask for help from you and the others.
Yes, on nights I rest here, I will be on my highest guard. If this never happens again, I will protect you, no matter what.
Okay, thank you. Even though he is in his normal clothes, and in his headless state right now. Looking at how bravely he fought at Amasaki Island, I thought of how well he just said fit him. I asked this reliable knight for help, and with a smile on my face, no matter what strange things happen in this world, the morning will always find its way to greet us the next day. To provide hospitality in those mornings and the day to inevitably follow is my duty. Yes, for those who are human and those who aren't. Hello, welcome to Cafe Enchante. No matter who my guest is, I'll always greet them with a kind smile. Where memories and the aroma of coffee fill the room in this strange and sprightly cafe. Alright, that's the end. Now we're at Canis Chapter 1. I believe this is where the story branches here. Alright, we're gonna end here. I think we should be able to save, right? Yeah. I'll make a separate save here. Yeah, oh cool, the save file changed. Now we're no longer at the... God, that was a lot of... For being like, essentially the prologue, that was pretty long. Wonder how long each route is gonna be. Anyway. Yeah, so we'll get into Canis's route in the next episode. I hope you had a relaxing time, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.